Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So, it's going to be a speed round. Before we get to the speed round, I'm going to shout out MCKG, who was in the house. It's interesting. We get the Twitterverse, we get on Instagram, we get on Facebook, and then we just pick up the phone and call some folks, and they say, yo, we want to be a part of this, right? So MCKG, he's going to help us transition from this space into the party space, right? Woo! So, just so y'all know, let me hear that woo again. Woo! All right. And then we're going to have, before we do all that, we're going to have Mr. Ben Caldwell just shut us down. Give Ben Caldwell a I also want to shout out the rap project over at USC, who was, as soon as we said we was doing this, it was like, how can we be down? Give them a round of applause as well. Getting the speed. Okay. If you could tell FELA something today about resistance in music, what would it be? And this is the speed round.
Resistance?
About resistance. And so you tell us about the Ambassador Hotel where you met him, which is now a school, right?
Yes.
But if you met him today, if you met that African brother today, what would you tell him?
Whoa. Well, today I would have him look at things a little differently. In that, after the last trip I made to Africa, and I see all this negativity in the world, and I know we're all in this boat together. I would just want truth. My advocacy now would be for truth. I would like for our educational system to teach the truth and stop teaching lies to our children. Because they have failed us is what has created this divisiveness. Because we were never taught the truth. We were taught a pack of lies about everything. So if we could only be taught the truth and speak truth to knowledge. And my brother Chuck D, he's been rapping and singing about it for years. I was like, who are they? And then, just not Truck. I feel honored to be here with Nana because she's been on the front line fighting for our incarcerated brothers and sisters who have been placed there.
That's right, keep it up.
It's a dying thing. And I mean, and I have to tell you this because she's not doing it for the money. And the first time I heard that, it came out of Bob Marley's mouth in London, England. See, I had the privilege of meeting Bob and FELA, having been close and in the camp of Bob and FELA. FELA first, and then Bob Marley. And these brothers, and Bob was the first person that I heard say, what he was doing, he was not doing it for money. And I looked at him, because that's the first time I ever heard that, And FELA, in the end, or before he transcended, it wasn't about the money. And FELA said this, that, and he saw it because when he had material things, and I mean he was a very rich man, material things, the government tried to destroy everything he had, burned up all his cars, burned his house down, and he said it wasn't about money. He wasn't fighting for money. So when you do things, I know you have to eat, and I know you have to live, but just know that we're all connected to the universe. Do it from the heart. Give from the heart, and the money will come. Money just comes when you do things right,
So Chuck, this is the speed round. This is the question for you. Give it up. Give it up, give it up, give it up.
Good stories, man. This is
Right? We could just be here all night.
Yep.
This is, how we do it. Get a hook, be a hit, do our thing. Yes. So, traces. So for you, where are the traces of FELA, right, in music today? Where are the traces? Where do you hear the echoes or the traces of FELA today?
Well, I have a rap station in the network, and our show, one of the station channels is called Planet Earth, Planet Rap. And it's the only radio station channel or show that highlights MCs, rappers, hip-hop around the world, which is totally different than what's in this country. So the traces of FELA is all in that music. It's all in and it all pays homage to all the areas around the earth that are doing their own thing on their own terms. And again, it's not for money but these people are rich, and they're rich in what they can give to the masses. You can't take anything with you. I mean, I tell people, it will behoove you that you're at the peak of whatever you do when you could just walk to the gig through the front door. Yeah. And that's the power that those artists had, where they could walk through the front door and say, no security. I mean, you know how we do, Pete.
Yeah,
it's like, if that's the gig, man, just walk to the stage to the people, man, because you know that the audience is not your audience; they're participants as well. They're integrated in your performance. And that right there, when you hear the collaborations and all the things, it's not about the big me, but how can we work together? So today, when you hear MCs collaborating, it comes out of that. I also think that when you talk about music today, it's not just sonics. Music today is 4 quadrants. It's style, sound, story, and also sight. And the sight, whether you want to drum it up on YouTube or see somebody in their performance, is influential. And hip hop has kind of always been about that. We got my man, Mayor of Skid Row, General Jeff in the back. He could attest to that. It's like it's four things. It's not just a sound. So it's beyond the record. It's about what I see. It's what I hear. It's what I feel, and how they moving like that. And you see that a lot of the artists today. You see these artists, and you can't name one song that they do. You really can't name a song that they did. All I know, they just, I seen them on, I think it was on Jimmy Kimmel just doing their thing. And that enveloped some of the embodied spirit of the performance artists, especially when you talk about coming out of the motherland and places like that with the big bands. And, it's like it's all one thing coming at, somebody with the boom, we're gonna come at the masses like that.
Give it up for Chuck D, y'all. Coming around to home plate, we have Sister Nana GYAMFI. And so Pan-Africanism, the state of Pan-Africanism in Los Angeles. What do we need to do to embolden, to embody Pan-Africanism? Give it to us.
I'm going to try to do that big old question as a speed round.
That's right.
So here's
I just came up, I was just looking at you.
Okay? The first thing is for us to get black people to recognize the fact that they are African and connected to Africa, right? I have a client who's a Hebrew Israelite, a Moor, indigenous, and something else too. Now, mind you, they literally put him into the psychiatric ward of the jail because he was also white, looking like me. But all of those things at the same time. So first we just got to get on the same page in terms of being African and an African people and not being embarrassed about that, right? Which is what Pan-Africanism is about. And then once we do that, then we can connect with one another on a completely different level. Going back to what you were talking about, Jeff. How people have this idea that, okay, I'm American, and because I'm American, that takes me out of blackness somehow, right? And then we learn that, and we think the same thing. So then people who are not from America and that are black are like, I'm not black. Because black to them means African American. It's that same term, right? Black to them means someone who's been through this African American experience that they haven't been through. Pan-Africanism crashes through all of that. All of that. It makes all of that irrelevant. Everything becomes an ethnicity, right? And it's important for us to have Pan-Africanism and to connect each other the way, because, and just to add, in this, black people think very ethnically. That's why Biggie and Tupac are dead. Okay? Black people can get themselves worked into some kind of ethnic something, right? And so it is critical. In Los Angeles, we have black people being ethnic. Right? Organizations being ethnic. By ethnic, I mean saying, I'm this, you're that. But we're all black people. We're all trying to fight against the same beast. And so Pan-Africanism roots us in a way that allows us to do the work that we need to do without losing ourselves, right? And it's creating and making our better selves, because it's all about unity and unifying around what holds us together.
Yo, I want y'all to give it up. So I want y'all to give it up for the panel, but that includes all of us in the room. So give y'all a round of applause. I'm gonna bring Ben Caldwell. He's gonna be like the Russell Simmons. If y'all don't remember, back in the day, Russell Simmons would come, thank you and good night. Well, Ben will give us a few words, and he ain't gonna say good night, because I'm gonna pass the mic to MC KG, and we're gonna start the party. But give it up for Ben Caldwell.
All right, you guys, how you doing? I feel so blessed. I mean, I've known Sandra. She and I started our FELA KUTI celebration in Lemert as a way to deal with things. Right after FELA passed, me and Nandi and Najite and Mr. Chucky D. I was fortunate enough when you came to UCLA and watched the SWAT team come out. The SWAT team came out just because they were performing. They were guarding all around because they thought UCLA was going to blow up just because Public Enemy was in that spot. I felt so proud. That's my school, and they were so afraid. So yeah, and I've always appreciated Chucky for all of what he's done and being in the forefront of this problem that we're in the U.S. Nana, of course, I've known you for a while, and your struggle and how you deal with some of our problems when we had the problem with the police kind of encircling and messing with people. But I wanted to say one thing about Pan-Africanism. The thing that has really touched me about our African-American experience is that it's a Pan-African experience. It's from Canada to Chile. Our family has been spread. And we speak the most French, we speak the most Portuguese, we speak the most Spanish, and we're speaking the most English. And these are the diasporan Africans, not including the Africans that were colonized. So the people who colonized us, we sucked them up and made it another world. So the thing is that's what happens when you mess with mama. Mess with the mother and fathers of civilization. So that's the way that I'm going toward how to handle this life of mine, is to look at it from this point on as we're all one family. And that one family is led by the ancient ones, the keepers of the land, the native people, and the spiritual ones, the Asian folks, and to work with our new white brothers who are young and don't really understand the world. They need some guidance. And that's what the Indians say, and I agree. So that's all I'm going to say.
Yo, so how was it, y'all? Yeah! So this is the maiden voyage on what we're calling LA Can Live. We're gonna try to program these types of conversations, right? Conversations that we can feel, that we can hear, that reverberate through our bones, that make us get in them streets and do this resistance work. So once again, give it up. I was talking to MC KG back there a second ago, Chuck, and it's so interesting when you bring family together. KG was like, yo, that brother right there gave me my break and started choking up, right? Just in terms of what happens when we come together for real, right? No bullshit, no play. The other thing that's really, really interesting, I've been looking at this room, and the room has just been growing, right? People haven't been sauntering out the back. People ain't been on the roof trying to get high, Sandra. We've been good, right? Because, and it's cool, let me just say, it's cool if that's what we gonna do. But I'm saying, we were here, right? We were here, we were present, we were together, we started on time, on, African people's time, right? But we didn't get the itch. And so, we finna do our thing. We have some drummers, We have a song that's gonna come on. We're gonna transition, but before we do, give it up one more time for Sandra Izsadore. Chuck D. Nana GYAMFI. And say, yeah, yeah! Give us the drums, drummers.
Yeah. Don't you go nowhere. We so appreciate